Hi, I'm Michelle Blue. I'm a millennial entrepreneur and started a business just 2 weeks after graduating college. It's my life and I don't even know. Okay, each week I'm interviewing an entrepreneur, getting a real look at their stories.
The reason why it was challenging because there is no set path for entrepreneurship.
At the lessons, the sacrifices along their journey.
And leadership is hard, and you have to live at home, and entrepreneurship is not easy.
So for the fellow entrepreneur, hopeful entrepreneur, or whatever path you decided to take in life, just know that the beauty lies within the journey.
Watching?
The journey.
The journey. Alright, I'm gonna be watching. Alright.
Jesus, we love you and thank you for this day and for this idea that you've put in Michelle's heart. Lord, we know that it's for a reason. I ask that you would give us the words to say to help other people on this journey and that you would bless everything she does. In Jesus' name, amen.
I'm so excited. I'm speaking with Lauren Glass, the founder of Throw Pillows. So super exciting story. Now, Lauren, we met at West Elm,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And we were doing a pop-up shop, Sasha, my business partner, and I, and you came along, and you were hobbling along.
Yes, literally.
Literally hobbling because you had a boot, and you were just like so excited though. And you know, of course, we have our scarves, and we help support girls around the world go through school. And you came and you told me all about Throw, which was super exciting.
Yeah.
So give us the spiel. Like, what is Throw?
Yeah, so that was still so funny. I think about that all the time. And when I did the follow-up email, my
Right.
subject was literally crazy girl in the boot that you met at West Elm. But anyways, Throw is a give back pillow company, and for every 10 pillows that we sell, we give one bed to a kid domestically that doesn't have a bed.
Okay.
Basically.
Very cool. And so I know with our follow-up, which is really cool when you meet like other entrepreneurs in the space, because it's kind of like you latch on, right?
Yes.
Because it's like, oh my gosh, like you know what I'm going through.
Yes.
And so we were able to share contacts with like West Elm and, you know, just kind of like even meeting, like we meet for coffee and we catch up, you know? So how has that been, like just the entrepreneurial, you know, journey? Because you're a solopreneur, you know, so you're like yourself. Thank God I have Sasha to like hold on to for saving grace. But like, how has that been?
Oh my gosh. Well, when I met you, was such a weird time.
Yeah.
And so on time actually too. But I was working a consulting job and doing my project on the side.
Yeah.
And I am from a super small town in East Tennessee, and there's just no creative situation happening there.
Yeah.
And so I always felt like, wow, I'm crazy for reasons other than what I originally thought. And so I was working a consulting job, still had in my head oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to do this full time. I'm trapped.
Yeah.
And then I met you guys, and like you said, you just latched on. I was like, what?
Like someone else is doing this?
What?
Someone else is crazy?
Yeah. I'm like, what are these girls doing?
Sign me up. I'm on that list.
Seriously. So I literally just remember beelining with my hobble leg, straight to you guys, because I read your board I knew that you were a give back brand.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just seeing you guys doing that gave me, I'm like, okay, people care. I'm not crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but I'm not alone.
No, not alone.
And you know, I think I'm gonna keep pushing a little bit longer, and that was just kind of a little piece of hope that I needed at that time. So it's been, it was such an important moment on my journey in Atlanta, because I hadn't even lived here that long. So,
which is interesting. So, I mean, so you were doing consulting and then part-time with the business.
Yeah.
Why did you make that leap and say, okay, I'm going to leave that behind. The business is what I'm going to dedicate myself to.
Yeah, well, I was miserable in my job. I mean, because it was all I could think about was that I knew I had created something that needed more than anything, more than an investment of money or all of these things that your mind first goes to. I'm like, it needs my time, or it's gonna die, and I can't give it the time that it needs right now with this job I had. So I remember like it was yesterday. As a consultant, you travel usually a lot, and so I traveled every week by myself, always alone. And I was just sitting in my hotel room in Ohio or some random place, and I'm like, I'm not I'm not doing this anymore. Like, if I have this quote that's in my room and like a background on my iPad, and it's Steve Jobs, and it's kind of a long quote, but it says, if I were to wake up and ask myself if this was what I would want to be doing like on the last day of my life, would the answer be yes? Yeah. Or if the answer's been no too many days in a row, and I would change something. And I was like, why?
That's a good thing to ask yourself, though. You know?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to, you know, as morbid as it is, I was like, I'm not going to die like this. Like, I'm not just going to live and die. Like, live, work, die. Like, no. So I remember praying and asking God, like, am I praying wrong? Like, what? I want to do something different. And I just remember the verse, you have not because you ask not. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm not being specific enough. So I prayed. I was like, God, like, I know that the business isn't profitable yet. I can't just quit. But if you will bless me with another part-time job. Okay. And I literally named out, it needs to be these days a week, these hours, all this, like, if I am supposed to keep going, you're going to have to make that happen. Yeah. And within a week, something opened up. That was a lot less money than I was making. I mean, like, a lot less money. But I was like, I'm young. I don't have a family. Like, I'm just going to do it. And if I fall on my face, then I'll try something else.
Right. And it's just me.
It's just me.
It's just me.
So, like, you know, I can find another job if this doesn't work. But I'm just going to do it. So I think you just have to get, like, you have to get mad enough at what your life is becoming to just really, when you get to that point, you'll know it.
That's a good thing. Yeah. That's a good, like, point. And you have to make the sacrifice, because I think for me it was easy because I went straight into after college doing my business. So I'm not used to having any money. Like, being broke, okay, whatever. This is my norm. But when you go from, like, having a salary and benefits and, like, the comforts and luxuries of life, and to leave that, it's like, okay. Yeah. Because if you don't know, you don't make money. Like, you're not paying yourself right off the bat.
Oh, yeah. In case you were wondering, you are the last person to get paid.
Still haven't gotten paid, actually.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on that actual paycheck, but it's fine.
So how are you doing that? How are you living, like...
So I had some savings. Yeah. So that does help. I will say to plan ahead a little bit, but you can't overplan. So you have to be careful with that. So I have a little bit saved up. So I have been full-time. I've only been full-time since August of last year.
So August 2016. Okay.
And so, I mean, I take a super small paycheck and have been living out of my savings for a while, but I am as hard as it is for me, this month is going to be the first time that I have like a paycheck that happens, but it's still really scary because in my mind I was like, I'm not going to pay myself until I check my bank account and I have like 1 year salary in there. That is not real. Okay. Like, no business has that. So yeah, that's another one of those, like, you just step out and I'll start paying myself, but I did. I mean, I had some savings and things like that.
Okay. And I know one thing, every time we get, like, coffee, we're just like, oh my gosh, this is like, again, holding on to dear life. Yeah. Because they're like, the actual journey of entrepreneurship, like, it's a roller coaster of emotions. Like, there's a meme that is, like, perfect on Instagram, and I need to repost it because it's like, one day you're like, oh, I got this. Oh, no. Like, what am I doing? Like, So, like, what is that emotional roller coaster like for you? Like, mentally, how are you dealing with this?
So I find that I can go through every emotion known and unknown actually in one day. So, and most of the time that is how it happens. Like, something, I'll get a phone call or email and I'm like, yeah, this is my big break. Which, by the way, there is no such thing as a big break. Yeah. Like, there's no just one moment that you're like,
just takes you to they catapult you.
I thought there was. There is not. Yeah. So, I mean, I will go from, like, you know, I'm the best, I'm going to do this, like, we're changing the world, to that night. Yeah. Like, there's been times where I'm, like, laying on my friend's living room floor, like, laying flat out saying, I think I'm going to die poor. And, like, and alone. I'm like, I don't know, like, the stress of this. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I can't. Like,
Yeah.
I physically can't. So, I mean, I deal with it with building, like, I have a strong community.
Right.
Just like when you and I get together and have coffee, you know, you have those people that are, you cannot do this alone.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are a solopreneur,
Right.
I always feel like I say that wrong, you have to have that community.
Right.
So that, I mean, I read a lot. I am a super strong believer. So I definitely lean on my spiritual walk to help me. And yeah, I mean, it's like, I look back on the crazy times when I feel like I'm going to quit, and the thing that really, like, gets me through is I remember why I'm doing it.
Right.
And
Your why. Start with why. Simon Sinek. Everybody should watch that TED Talk.
That's when I read the questions, like a TED Talk, I'm like, what, it's called something about, like, what makes a great leader versus something, but it's about the why, and I'm like, gosh, if you don't know why you're doing it, when those hard times come, you are going to, like, you'll quit.
Yeah.
You will not make
For sure.
it. Like, never.
For sure.
So I would say that. And I mean, I go to counseling once a week, which is sometimes a weird taboo people don't want to talk about. And I was that person.
Yeah.
I was like super proud about it, but I'm like, no, I mean, I go to counseling and I want to know more about myself, because it's only going to help me, like, you know, understand these times.
No, I think that's so real. When I first started, even though, like I said, thankfully I have Sasha as my partner, she was living in Cincinnati, and so I was here doing the business full time, and it was just like a very isolating process, you know? Like, I just felt so alone, and it's like people don't really get it.
No.
They don't get it. And then also you see other friends who are like making all the money, so they're buying houses, they're buying cars, and I'm like, oh gosh, will I ever be able to do that? So I think it's really good, first of all, not to get caught up in comparison, but also, like you said, having a strong enough why to, like, hold on in the midst of the no money of every emotional, like, roller coaster and bout you're gonna go through.
Totally.
But having a community, because you can't do it alone.
Like, a couple of things that I wish that I would have, like, known sooner were, the, like, really, really important factors would be the importance of community. Because if your community and your why, because it is the loneliest, like, the way people look at entrepreneurship and, like, business owners and all this stuff, and it's how I looked at it too, was like, wow, like, I bet they're just, like, jet setting, and, like, people are asking them to come speak, and, like, it's amazing, and they have all these friends, and I'm like, where's my jet? Like,
that's
where's
like,
my people?
1% to 2% of my life, right? And then the other, like, 98%, I'm sitting in my kitchen, like, by myself, not even dressed.
Yes, truly not even dressed, like, just trying to, like, figure it out. So having community is so important, and also, like I would, like, say this till the day I die: if your why isn't personally connected to you and it isn't good enough, you will in no way, like, survive. Like, if you're just in it to make money or to have this, like, glamorous life, you might want to, you know, reconsider, because that's not. But there is glamour, but not what you think. Like, the fulfillment of seeing, you know, your why, like, meet your project and the change you can make. That's the real glamour of it.
So really cool. And that's one of the first bits of advice I got, because I was, like, so depressed in my own, is my friend was like, get out your house, like, go to a coffee shop. You know, that's one thing why WeWork is so great. Like, they have locations, like, literally all over the world, you know, and it's a beautiful space. Like, why wouldn't you want to work here? But I think, you know, obviously you've been putting in the time. And thankfully I've been able to see your business grow, which is so cool.
I know, it's so fun.
But yeah, Throw is amazing, right? So you've, like, have some really cool, like, strategies on how you're growing the business and how you're getting this all together. So you were, like, profitable in the first 6 months
of sales.
Like, first of all, kind of unheard of. Like, that's huge.
It is unheard of. I'm like, all the time, I'm still just like, did that happen? And it was pure just drive. Because I didn't know what was acceptable and wasn't acceptable. So I just went for what, like, I just went for it. It's kind of like when people say, if we could just think like we were still kids, like, I'm like, I was like a baby in the business world, so I just, I got crazy. I didn't care. I didn't know rules, and I still tried to like not know rules because it works. But I mean, we started, and to this day, I mean, we just now are getting to the point where we're gonna do some like sponsored ads and things on Facebook and Instagram with a small budget. But we did everything through social media. And when I always say we, you know, make yourself bigger. I mean,
just me. Right.
I
love that.
Me and my team of me. But yeah, so I started on Instagram, and this was 2 years ago. So I mean, bloggers were just like becoming pretty hot on the scene. Like now, there's so many bloggers, but at this point there wasn't as many. And I thought it just made sense to me that if I could get my product in front of somebody who had a bigger audience than me, that like it would give me awareness for my brand. So I would just email like all of these people and be like, hey, if I send you a pillow, will you post it? Can we do a giveaway? Can we do this? Can we do that? And they agreed, and that's how we...
Very cool.
And that's still how we do ourselves.
And that's awesome because for me, I mean, I hate bloggers.
Yeah.
I don't hate them, but they just haven't worked as well for my business. And I know you do, like, just like the last 3 months of the year, like you do a hardcore outreach, right? Yeah. So, like, tell us how you do that and the return on that for you.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's the only marketing that we've ever done. And I'm just so unprofessional, I feel like, in a way, sometimes.
It's okay.
So I just, like, email, and my why is so, like, near to my heart. Like, there's hundreds of kids, thousands, millions probably in the world, I don't know, but definitely hundreds of thousands of kids that don't have beds, okay? So that's why I'm not just passionate about pillows. Like, that's not the thing. It's like, so I know that I'm an advocate for those kids. So, yeah, I'll email a blogger and say, look, I have no money because the profits that we're making, we're trying to make a difference in all of our future, your future, my future. Will you help us? And that's my thing, is like, I just ask. And, you know, a lot of people say no. Or for $500. And I get that. You know, it's a business. That's fine. Everybody's not trying to put kids in beds, and that's okay. But if you reach out enough times and you're really sincere in what you're doing, people will fall on board. It just takes finding the right people and, being persistent. And apparently being really unprofessional.
It works.
I read back on some of my emails and I'm like,
it completely works because we all get so caught up with like just the preparation of like, I'm not ready, or I don't know how to say this the right way. And I let people know, first of all, it's not that I'm just like super smart. I'm not like average, you know, on a good day.
Me too, on a good day.
But it's just like, you have to like, if you don't ask, you won't know. Like, I always say, closed mouths don't get fed. Like, Lil Wayne said it best. Like, if you don't ask, then no one can tell you the yes or the no. You know, so you're nowhere closer to anything.
You're nowhere closer. And if you sit around and just prepare. Like, there's like this catch-22 of community and learning more about business. Because when you don't know as much, you're bolder. And when you start learning things, you realize, wow, that's not exactly how this works. But it's how it works for you. So, you know, you have to keep that balance, because the more I learn, the more sometimes I'm like preparing and like, oh my gosh, like this is like, no. And then I'm like, what? Like, I've been sitting on this email for 5 days. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like,
it's ridiculous.
You can prep and prep. You're never going to feel like your stuff is good enough. You're never going to feel like you are good enough. But just do it. Let somebody tell you no. Gosh, those have been the best. Like, I look back on all the times I've been told no and still get told no, and it used to like send me into a meltdown. Like,
anxiety.
Oh God, like I better just quit. But now I love it, because I'm like, all right, like I know what I can do different, or that no's just getting me closer
to your yes.
And
you know,
totally. So
every no gets you closer to your yes, but you have to start.
You just have to do it. Like, trust me. I mean, I can send some email examples of the craziness I have like sent out into the world. So, just start.
Very good. Okay, well, closing up, because of course I would sit here and talk to you forever because you just have so much awesomeness packaged up in this body and in your business.
Bringing it out in me.
So, I love it, but I always ask 2 questions. So for me, I always say like my mom is like the biggest reason I've been able to do this, right? Like after I graduated college, she allowed me to like come home, like, and supported the vision, you know, and you have to have that. So I'm like, who is your Virginia? Like, Virginia saved my life. Like, she allowed me to dream and make this possible, right? Thank you, Virginia. So who is your Virginia?
So my Virginia is definitely my mom too.
Awesome.
But she's Missy, not Virginia.
Okay.
But yeah, and really my mom and my stepdad for very different reasons. My stepdad has kept me so. I'm the very like high anxiety and high energy like crazy person, and he's very calm and level. So like I've always had him to like let me dream, but also keep me, you know, close enough on the ground.
Grounded.
Yeah. But then my mom, I mean, truly the woman. Like I could call her right now and be like, "Hey mom, I am going to Mars tomorrow," and like she would say, "Let me know when you get there safe."
Yeah.
Because she like believes if I truly wanted to go to Mars tomorrow, like I would figure it out. And she's just always like a safe place. And when I was in the early stages, and I would get so bummed, I remember I would just sit on my mom's lap as like a grown adult and be like, "Just tell me I'm almost there."
Yeah.
And she would, that was her thing. And she'd be like, "You're almost there. You're so close."
And that's the thing. We're always so much closer than we ever think we are, you know? But you have to have people in your life that like believe in that, who get it. Okay, last question. And I love it. Obviously, I already quoted Lil Wayne.
Oh, gosh, I know. I was like...
Right. So music motivates me. Obviously, you know, I can turn on some music, get me going, like get me in my work like hustle mode. So what is a song lyric that like gets you like, okay, I'm about to kill this, like I'm about to crank this workout?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. Okay, so
rap it, sing it, do whatever. Go for it.
Well, I'm like feeling like when I have the music, I can rap it out, but I may just have to say it because I need like my, you know, my backup vocals. But I'm the girl who can go from Hillsong Ocean to Nicki Minaj like in 3 minutes. Like give me that one like Ocean song, and then I'm like, all right, I'm ready to hit it. But I really still hold on to Moment for Life.
Moment for Life.
Nicki Minaj, like from her first album.
Okay, give me the exact lyric.
Okay, I'm trying to think, like, because it's in the middle of the song. It says a bunch of stuff, but one part is like, "Don't worry about me and who I fire. I get what I desire. It's my empire." And and it's like, "Yes, I call the shots. I am the umpire. I sprinkle holy water on the."
I love it. Perfect.
So anyways, it's really the whole song.
I call the shots. I'm the umpire.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I love that. I am.
And I'm definitely going to go back and like pull this up. Thank you, Nikki, for the inspiration.
Yes.
Very good, Lauren. I love you so much.
Oh my gosh.
You know, this is so exciting, and I think the thing about all of this is we don't know what's happening in the middle, you know? Like, but there's so much beauty in the journey, you know?
Totally.
So thank you so much for sharing. This is awesome.